This is a Touchstone Publishers presentation, your trusted source of leadership knowledge.
Great day, everybody, and welcome to Leadership Lessons in the News. I want to refer to an article in today's Leadership Lesson in the News, published on September 11th of 2019 by Gary Vaynerchuk. Now, his article is entitled, What First-Time Managers Should Know in 2020. He goes through a couple points. For example, his very first point, as a first-time manager, you should understand that you work for your employees and they don't work for you. Okay, that in itself is a very solid management thought. I want to add a little twist to that, though. You should understand that your employees should be standing on your shoulders. Their success leads to your success. So you should do everything in your power to help them achieve their success. And I keep on coming back to this, and we'll just come back to it right now. If you understand that your number one role as a leader is to be a developer of people, then that's what you're doing. You're developing your team so they can be more successful, which leads to your success. With that said, let me add one other thought to that. No matter what happens, if it's good, you take no credit. No matter what it is, it's your team that did it, not you. If it's wrong, if it's bad, then you take the full blame. Yes, if it's wrong, if it's bad, you take the full blame. The buck stops with you. If it's great, if it's good, you take no credit. You give all that credit back to your team. Second point he brings up, lead with empathy and kindness. Lead with empathy and kindness. I would like to have you think about it this way. You must always assume that your team, the people who follow you, are doing things for a positive reason. Even their mistakes are based upon a positive reason, a positive intent. The things they say and do wrong, they have a positive intent, a positive reason for that. And if you can take the time to remember that, that'll help you create some empathy and kindness. That person did this with positive intent. We've always all had that employee who comes to work 10 minutes late every single day. Well, they have a positive intent for that. That positive intent could be something as small as the fact that they can't take the earlier bus in the morning because they got to get their kids off to school, or they leave a little bit late every day because they're working two jobs. Or it could be as deep as they're coming to work late every day because they're spending every night out drinking because that's the only way they can feel good about themselves is to go out and drink, and so therefore it's hard to get up in the morning. But their positive intent is to feel good, to have some level of self-esteem. That's their positive intent. They do not have the intent to cause harm to you, mostly. You should always remember that everybody has a positive intent for their actions. It's just not one that may be meant for you or for the company. His third point, to build a culture, focus on firing. Okay, now this one I got a little bit of a problem with. To build a culture, you got to focus on firing. I think that's wrong. To build a culture, you have to focus on developing your team. And you have to be focused on developing your team, developing people who report to you, and you have to be honest. In your development process for these people, if you're doing what you know is right and what you should be doing, then they're going to develop into the roles that you need them to develop into. However, I will say this, sometimes you need to develop them into a role that is outside of the company. In other words, a new role at a new company. You may have to develop them for that. But your first focus should be to develop that person. You don't want the rest of your team, the person that you're having to develop to leave the company, you don't want the rest of your team taking any bad feelings from your action, your harshness here. Working to fire somebody, being willing to fire somebody is one thing, but you should be willing to develop that person more so than anything else and help them develop to the better fitting position outside of your company. That's the paradigm shift. That's a thought I'd like for you to take from that one. It's not working to fire somebody, it's working to develop them. Let them see that there's more opportunities out there than just your company. They help them to get there. Sometimes you got to push people, push them off the cliff so they can start to fly. And they'll fly with a different company, not yours. Don't focus on firing, focus on developing. Being nice is ROI positive. That's his fourth point. Being nice is ROI positive. When you're nice, you build trust. When you build trust, you build productivity. When you build productivity, you build a positive ROI. Pretty much all said right there. Being nice is ROI positive. It goes a little bit deeper than that though. When you're nice to people, when you help people, when you work to develop the people the best way you know how to develop people, or the best way they need to be developed, they take ownership of the issues. They take ownership of the problems. And you know what happens as a leader when that happens? Your life gets easier. You can put your efforts now into developing the community, the company. Being nice is ROI positive. Here's the next one. Say yes to everything. Okay, say yes to everything. As a leader, he says, I'm very yes-minded. I say yes to virtually everything. I would like to add a little twist to that. Again, look for ways to say yes to everything. Look for ways to say yes to everything. Do not automatically assume that it's a yes. Do not automatically assume it's a no, but you need to look for the ways to say yes. Someone comes to you with a proposal, look for ways to get it to work. Don't just throw it out. Give trust easily is his sixth point. You got to give trust easily to people. You give it first, you'll get it back. Give trust first. When you give trust to people, you also give them trust to do the job. You give them ownership to do the job. And if they fail on it, they can't blame you because you give them the ownership of it. You trusted them to do it. And it'll be very easy for you to document their failure. Very easy. And there now you can have concrete steps on which to improve, on which to be developed. Give trust. Trust first, then your team will eventually trust you. His seventh point. Communicate with underperforming employees. Okay, I'm going to say that's great. I like that, except for it should be communicate with all employees. Okay? Communicate with all employees. And here we go. You know I'm going to get on this. For those of you who've been through any of my stuff, have one-on-one meetings. Now, I was listening to a podcast with Gary Vaynerchuk, and I believe it was Chase Jarvis, and he said it but didn't really emphasize it like I want to emphasize it. When he has a problem with somebody, it's the one-on-one meetings that he has that takes care of that. I am going to suggest that you have one-on-one meetings, whether there's a problem or not, that you communicate with all your employees all the time. Schedule it. Make it happen. All right. Thank you very much today for sitting in on Leadership Lessons in the News.
Thank you for watching this presentation from Touchstone Publishers. Please subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when new episodes are published.